the thing about me is I learned early on to control, my triggers because I realized that people would try to use them against me, right? It started with like family, right? I remember my older brother, he knew me well, so he knew how to trigger me. And then once I realized, like, oh, you just using what you know about me to trigger me. The only reason I'm triggered is because either A, I think that is true, or B, I haven't healed from whatever it is that you're using. And so when I became self-aware and I self-reflected, it allowed me to automatically have that level of awareness and control to where I couldn't be triggered again, and I'll move forward. So I don't like when you could be anybody in the world. I don't want you to have that ability to trigger me. You know what I'm saying? It's like it could be a person trying to disrespect you, to call you out your name. You feel me? It could be a person trying to be racist, to pull something out you. It'd have been cops that try to trigger me. Nah, we're not doing that. Nobody has that power. It's only me to have that power to decide when my anger gets conjured and when I'm going to use it for. Right now, there's rifle situations to where a person, hey, you do something you step over that line, then you'll get that reaction you're looking for, rightfully so. But for the most part, no, man, you gotta have that power of control. That's what it's all about. The easiest people to trigger is usually, right now the culture is so sensitive and it's so effeminate. It makes you easier to trigger and control because, women and children historically were the easiest to trigger and control. Now, men are so feminine. I seen was that that's not it wasn't Will I Am. It was I forget who the artist was, but he was just talking about how when he grew up, he always been feminine, and he was like, I embrace my feminine side, and I'm super feminine, and he just kept going on saying how feminine he was. And it's funny because I never looked at this artist as particularly feminine. I just looked at him as like a creative and like an artist. But it was like he really wanted the world to know, and I feel like that's just a part of this new trend that everybody is on right now. Like, because he was explaining like they didn't have an LGBT community. He was saying that he's not LGBT, but now he gets more support being a feminine man because people are more tolerant. And I feel like it's just one of those things where people be looking for communities. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's weird because it's like you can embrace your feminine side, that's fine, but you also got to embrace your masculine side. Because he was saying he grew up with his mother, and it's like when you have self awareness to know why you are, add that additional balance onto your life as well. You did. Because what the women need is men to be masculine right now. Because right now they be acting out, they be emotional, they be triggered, they be, their responsiveness is weak. They don't have that ability to think through these situations and develop themselves to the highest caliber. You feel me? And what we need a society of men to stand up, because when the men stand up, the game changes. You feel me? And when the men stand up, the women change. And when the women change, the children change and the future change. And it's a ripple effect. And this is what y'all don't understand. Like women can be great leaders, and there are many great women leaders, but the black woman is not going to lead us into our greatness as men. No, men going to have to lead the world, because that's why men were attacked first and destroyed, because it's that masculine energy that had to be broken down. You know what I mean? And that masculine energy being broken down, now you can go after the woman. Now you can go after the child. And this is why you're seeing the woman being the one that is more propagated out there. This is why you see it went from the niggas out there in hip hop being the drug dealers, the pimps. Like Meek Mill said, he say they paid them to talk about that murder rap bullshit. Same thing with the ladies. They say we didn't use y'all up, fellas. Now we gonna use y'all women up. Then next we gonna use y'all children up. And after that, y'all done for. You feel me? So it's the men that gotta stand up in this time and day. Y'all can't be out here complaining about these women, man. Can't be complaining about, like, man, just assert your energy. You feel me? Like, it's a whole planet that's yours, man. Ain't no reason to complain, man. You gotta be a hunter, gotta be a gatherer out here. You feel me? You gotta go for what's yours and make do and make just. You know what I'm saying? But the moment you start complaining, that just means that you lost what your whole power was, right? Yeah, I think it was the Will I Am. Yeah, the moment you start complaining, you no longer acting as a man. You know what I'm saying? Because a man has the ability to think. He has the ability to solve, right? So when the problems are presented to a man, then he learns to solve them. Now, sometimes he may not like his solve. Sometimes some of these women ain't for you. You know what I mean? You don't need one that's acting crazy that you gotta constantly try to put in place and all of that shit. Like, no, leave her by herself. You know what I'm saying? Leave her by herself and go find you another one and keep living. You feel me? I don't suggest nobody be stuck with nobody just because. Like, some of these people, they deserve to be by themselves. Like, let them be by themselves in their craziness. Thing is, there's more women than men, so fellas, you got options. There's no reason to be stuck with something going crazy, losing your mind, tearing your heart out, goddamn, ready to kill somebody and going crazy over it. Because I see it happen way too much. Y'all be dealing with these crazy women, man, and be ready to lose their mind, man. Tripping. Man, leave these crazy women alone, man. Some of them ain't worth dirt. You know what I'm saying? And, I know people be wanting me to speak all conscious and all that other extra crap, but I'm just speaking the truth, man. And the truth ain't conscious. I don't want to speak it. You know what I mean? Some of them ain't worth dirt. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't worth dirt, you can't plant a seed in them. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? The woman's supposed to be the soil, so if she ain't worth dirt, you can't plant a seed in her. You feel me? That's what you gotta ask yourself, if she worth dirt. Because if she not, you can't plant a seed in it. You plant a seed in something that ain't worth nothing, what you think you gonna produce? So now you got these little crazy ass kids out here wilding, looking wild. You know what I'm saying? And then you hate your baby mother. It's like, what? You put your dick in dirt. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even good soil. It's the game. So it's like, as a man, you better off just listen. Listen. It's like I'm telling you, man. It's a whole world to unravel. And OGs. There's a lot of old wisdom in the world, and that's beautiful. And there's a lot of game that's been given that's beautiful. One thing you gotta understand is, ain't nobody ever dealt with this type of generation before. I'm gonna just be clear about that. You know what I'm saying? A person can tell you, no, just deal with these. They ain't OGs, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, they ain't never dealt with this generation. They can't tell you nothing about dealing with this generation of men and or women. You know what I'm saying? You gotta somebody say you're a beautiful girl. I know everybody wants to put everything on everybody. You can't mess with a man for this. Listen, nobody is forcing you to mess with no man under no reason. But you gotta understand, a lot of the ways that women think out here, these Western ways, men just don't care for that. And a lot of times men just don't respect the way you think. You know what I'm saying? The way you move and the way you act in your Western ways. Your Western ways just ain't attractive at all. Nothing about like this super feminist Western woman is attractive, right? So when we see you, you want to be the new mermaid, goddamn, or the Barbie. That's not attractive. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you may think that that's attractive, but it's not. And that's the thing, right? We're just not attracted to you. And so when a person is not, and when men have to settle for what they're given, you don't respect what you're given. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want what you want. Like, in your mind, you want the highest. You never ask yourself, what's the fantasy of a man? Because women tell us their fantasies all the time. What do you think the ideal woman is for a man? Like, it's a different conversation. I mean, there has to be an ideal, and like, do you think you fit that? And a woman gonna be like, no, I'm not trying to. I don't want to. How would I fit the standards in? And it's like, all right, fine. That's fine. But you gotta understand that he's gonna treat you like somebody just like that. It's not what he really wants. Because women no longer want to satisfy men at all. And it's like, the moment a man starts talking about what he thinks, what he wants, what he likes, who he is, you know what I'm saying? The fight begins. And it's like, damn. And then you get mad at a person not treating you right. Well, you never treated him right as well. So that's the game. You know what I mean? And men is so weak and so soft these days. They don't even know how to. Don't even know how to be a man in this new world. These new boys is different. You know what I'm saying? And fellas, it is better being by yourself and playing the field than being out there with something that will kill you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you if you with the wrong woman, it'll kill you. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I know a lot of men that be man and then died because they picked the wrong woman and got you depressed and got you messed up and got mental issues and you've been like it literally be killing you. And that's something we don't talk about in society at all. You know what I'm saying? Like at all. We don't talk about how and women be intentionally knowing that shit and don't care. When women break a heart of a man, she don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like it's like chunk it up to the game. But we don't talk about that part of the game at all. And the way y'all be raising y'all sons, y'all be raising it like y'all hate men. And you know, so the son grow up hating being a man. So when he don't act like a man, why you think so? Because everything he was taught about a man from you was hateful, disgusting. It's something that he was told not to be, nothing like. So if his mother does not like men, and I ain't talking about liking men in the sense that you're attracted to them, like you have to love men. You have to love the idea of a man in order to raise a son to become the idea of a man. Like you gotta like this the game, man. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't be liking men. And your son know that and he grow up hating it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with fellas. You raise your daughter and you don't like her mother. You feel me? You don't be really liking women. You know, come on, man. What you think these kids gonna become?
This is it right here.